back to the channel. Late last year, I dived into podcasting. The urge to create stemmed from wanting to document my life while providing value to others through the learnings. A combination of my selfish and selfless tendencies. At its core, I wanted to give individuals from all walks of life the opportunity to share their experiences on a platform where they could potentially help others in similar situations, showcasing that everyone has learnings and that we can indirectly help each other, but also have a place where I could hear my own thoughts. I started with the latter, storytelling through my own experiences without reliance on others. In my opinion, a podcast is a unique source of knowledge, different from a book. The listeners can hear the emotions and tones of a host or guest describing their experiences. Whereas when you're reading a book, you lose oneself. And so it doesn't really allow you to physically comprehend the author because you're reading the book in your voice and not his or hers. Audio enables you to not just be a fly on the wall. It allows you to join the discussion in a way. It makes you feel as if you're sitting at the table, microphone in hand, raring to go. There's an extra dimension to a podcast, making it an audio experience. Audio, as I mentioned before, has a depth, and it was a deepness that I wasn't ready to begin uncovering. When I started the one-person podcast that was just me, it was surprisingly hard to begin talking. Mentally, I found myself providing excuses, overtly procrastinating. You know what? I was just scared. The irony of it all was that I was actually just afraid of my own voice, frightened of the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts that I'd restricted internally for a whole lifetime being let out in the open, potentially for people to ridicule. The episodes came as a remedy to the issues I was having in my life. It became a place where I could jewel them in real time, preventing them from pinballing inside my head. Freezing them in time allowed me to dissect them and understand how they were affecting me. By focusing on being as true to myself as possible, the rawness that the listeners could hear allowed them to connect with me. They were able to comment and help me dissect what I was going through and give me pointers on some stuff that maybe I was looking at wrong. It allowed me to open up a dialogue where I could inspect and adapt. Over time, I've become comfortable sitting down with the mic, and I've recently made the move to start introducing guests onto my show, starting with friends and family, with the vision to expand to individuals from all walks of life. My first guest was as close to home as they could possibly come, my very own brother. Initially, when I posed the question to him many months ago, he was reluctant to consider. But in the boredom of the UK lockdown, I think he changed his mind and he was eager to try it out. I had my suspicions that he wouldn't open up in the way I wanted him to, but to my surprise, he was able to have an open dialogue about our past, our present, and our potential futures. To say this was a leap forward in our relationship would be an absolute understatement. From where I started the podcast to where it is now are literally black and white. It's something that I could have never possibly imagined when I first sat down with the mic and was talking about my thoughts and feelings. It's more than just a podcast to share experiences on. It's a tool that can not only be used to connect people, but to strengthen relationships with the friends you already have and the ones that are yet to come. I can't explain the adrenaline kick I get out of it. It's absolutely incredible when I sit down on the mic. Every time I press the massive big red record button, it feels like a current of electricity is flowing through my veins. Couple this insane kick with such an innate level of gratitude, I feel like this is my service to society. This is my passion project. It has become the one time in my life where I can remember the dial on my existence has been turned up to 11. So welcome to The Ordinary Experience. It's a place where we can sit down together and talk about our thoughts, our feelings, our emotions with a rawness and a transparency to let us dissect what's actually going on and what has actually happened to ourselves so that we can come to deal with it, but also because there's so much knowledge trapped inside our heads, so many things that we've gone through in our lives as individuals, as ordinary people. So if you would like to come on, please feel free to reach out. I'd love to have you on and we can organize a date and time. The podcast is on all major platforms, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and it's also on YouTube. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, smash that like button. Wow, that's a first. Leave a comment if you want to be on it. I'd love to hear from you about the feedback on the podcast if you do like that, and also the feedback on the YouTube and how that's going. And if you're liking this type of content. As always, it's been a pleasure and I'll see you soon. Ciao.